So we tell our users how to optimize for AI search, but are we actually doing it ourselves? I decided to find out. I took one of our important blog posts and audited it through the lens of AI visibility. What I discovered was eye-opening. We are leaving opportunities on the table. Big ones. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I found and more importantly, how we can fix it. And towards the end of the video, I will share with you a method to quickly and easily audit your pages for AI visibility. But before anything else, take note that this is an audit on a blog post and it will be different if we were to audit on a landing page, a service page or whatever. So if you're interested in learning about them, do let us know in the comments down below and smash that thumbs up. Now, let's go. So the page that I've audited is this. It is a page that was published 2 years ago, and though it was updated a couple of months ago, I think it could do better. Don't take my word for it, you be the judge. We have identified 7 optimization opportunities that will immediately improve how AI systems read, understand and cite our content. These aren't theoretical, they are actionable. And they are going to separate the leaders from everyone else. But take note, we are not critiquing the factual and accuracy of the content itself. We are optimizing for AI visibility. Think of it like this. The article could be perfect, but if the AI can't easily extract and cite the key information, you are leaving the visibility on the table. That's what we are fixing. So we are auditing the page for AI visibility from the top to the bottom. What you need to understand before any optimizations is that AI does not read your entire page, but they read in chunks of text. So if you have explained the concept on one part of your page and you have another sentence on another part of your page and you wrote something like, as we have mentioned earlier, and you do not give further context, the AI will have a problem parsing your content and may skip it. One good example is this. Google now prioritizes content that does this, and that. It might seem normal, but without any context and meaning, it is hard for AI systems to understand what this chunk of text is about. I know if you scroll up a little, you will see that this list actually refers to Google's helpful content system update. But as I said, AI systems do not read content like traditional search engines do. So you have to add an introductory context before adding the list. So I would add something like Google's helpful content system update prioritizes 3 types of content, and you will continue with the list. Why this works is because it explicitly states the context, which is Google's helpful content system update, and we added types of content to establish semantic clarity. Semantics seem like a complex word, but it is simple. It means the sentence or paragraph contains meaning, context, and user intent. So semantic clarity means having clear context and meaning in the sentence. So the next time you add a list, make sure that your introductory paragraph before the list has semantic value. Let me give you another example. Let's move a little below and right here, how to create SEO content. You see, right after the heading, there is no text, no description, nothing. And it jumps straight to the table of contents for the section. Well, I get the meaning as a human. These are the items you need to create SEO content, but the AI won't see it that way. So you need to be clear and give context into what this section is about. So I would include a sentence right after the heading. For example, creating SEO content requires a systematic approach across 10 key areas. And you will continue with the menu items. This works because it provides more context for the AI to parse. You are linking entities such as creating SEO content, which is a concept, and connecting it with a meaning, which is systematic approach, which is also an abstract entity. Using this list structure where you give a clear introductory context before providing the list makes it easier for AI to parse this part of your content. When you ask a concerning question or a rhetorical question without actually providing a clear answer in the same paragraph, AI systems struggle because they don't provide structured, extractable information. Here's an example. Right after the title, understand user intent and audience needs, there is this question. Have you ever wondered what sets apart successful content from the rest? This is the definition of a rhetorical question without a clear answer. Here's why that question is problematic for AI. Firstly, AI passes this as a question seeking for an answer, but the answer is buried in the following paragraph. Secondly, the connection between the question and answer isn't structured clearly. And finally, AI systems may skip rhetorical questions entirely because of missed context. So this is how I would amend these sentences. Successful content stands apart through one core principle, which is understanding user intent and meeting your audience's needs. When users search in search engines, they have a specific intent or purpose in mind. It is important to decipher that intent and align your content accordingly. So we replaced the rhetorical question with a clear statement and connected the meaning as one. It provides immediate context and specificity, and AI can extract the core concept directly without passing multiple sentences. This is something that concerns me, but I think it will be the way forward. With the rise of agentic AI, where people are served with final answer, written text or blog content, especially those targeting informational intent, will eventually only be read by AI. At least initially. So if you do not optimize your content for AI, you miss out on being found by them. In traditional SEO, we are used to writing conversationally, just like how we speak, but unfortunately, that has to change. Let me give you an example. Right after the sentences we have audited earlier, we wrote this. For instance, if your audience searches for best budget smartwatches, what kind of content do they expect? A list of affordable options, comparisons between various watches, or recommendations, right? If you provide in-depth reviews of high-end smartwatches, you may miss the mark. You see what I'm talking about? This is how we were taught to write for traditional SEO. I personally wrote that way when I was a blogger. And this is exactly why it is problematic for AI. Because as we have said, the right at the end of the sentence is a rhetorical confirmation seeking agreement, not information. AI is looking for information, not emotional agreement. And then the exclamation point and conversational tone add emotional weight but no semantic value. And also, multiple questions in sequence create passing ambiguity, and AI generally skips the sentence. So this is what I would change instead. I would write, when users search for best budget smartwatches, they expect one of the three content types: a curated list of affordable options, comparisons between various watches, or expert recommendations. Providing in-depth reviews of high-end smartwatches instead would misalign with user intent and reduce your content's relevance. Why this works is because it replaces the conversational tone with direct cause and effect statements. It uses the number structure for clarity, and AI can extract the core logic, which is user intent leads to a content type expectation, and the consequences of misalignment. Now, the next sentence is obviously written in a conversational style that needs to be adjusted. This is what we call vague transitional language. So instead of this, I will write something like, to analyze user intent and ensure your content aligns with what your users are looking for, follow these steps. And then you will continue with the list. So the key is to stop writing in conversational tone, write in clear sentences, and avoid asking rhetorical questions. Now, this is probably one of the most important optimizations you need for AI visibility. For every heading you have on your page, the sentence or paragraph that comes after needs to clearly summarize what the entire section is about. For example, this. Right after the conduct keyword research heading, we have a sentence saying, now it's time to perform keyword research. But before we begin, let's discuss the role of keywords in SEO. For an AI, this is a filler. It doesn't define what keyword research is, why it matters, or what the core entities are. It just says we are gonna talk about it. Yes, I get it. It is explained below. But remember, you are not writing for search engine crawlers. Search engine crawlers will read the entire page and understand its context. But for AI, they read in chunks. And if you write a vague sentence without semantic value, you are missing the opportunity for AI to cite your content. So instead, I would write something like this. Keyword research is the process of identifying the specific terms and phrases your audience uses to find information online. By aligning your content with these search queries, you bridge the gap between user intent and search engine visibility. This is an entity-rich paragraph that clearly defines the core entity, which is keyword research, and it makes semantic connections between keyword research, user intent, and search visibility in the first two sentences. It is so much easier to parse this information for AI systems. Of course, we can remove the first part of the content and that will work as well. As long as your sentence or paragraph right after the heading provides semantic value, it defines and connects entities with meaning, it is a win for AI visibility. I'm pretty sure you already noticed that content for AI visibility is always about providing context, defining and making connections between entities and meaning, and it has to be delivered in a way that is easy to understand. But check this out. This seems like a good paragraph for AI to pass because it has definitions and there is a statistic. But if you read carefully, it is not very clear. You may not notice that this statistic came from Backlinko. So this is how I would amend the paragraph. I would keep the first sentence and I will continue with, according to Backlinko's analysis, 92% of all search queries are long-tail keywords. This means that focusing your content strategy on long-tail keywords allows you to capture the majority of search traffic, even if individual keywords have lower search volumes than generic terms. This separates the statistic from the definition, which makes it clearer. It explicitly states the implication on why this matters for content strategy, and the AI can easily extract the definition, statistic, and strategic implication. So if you want to write a paragraph that includes statistics, have a clear definition or statement followed by the statistics and then the implication. So let's go back to the top of the page. You see, the page jumps straight into the introduction without a structured summary. This kind of forces AI to hunt through thousands of words to find the core message, rather than being served the answers on a silver platter. So maybe right here, I would add a key takeaway section like this to deliver all the key points to AI, making it easier to pass the information. So these are the content level audit I would do to improve AI visibility of the content. Now I want to discuss some page level audits you should do. Firstly, I want to talk about author authority description. If you check out any of Ahrefs' blog content, they will have an author bio that clearly describes why the author is an authority in the space. And if you click on the author's name, it brings you to the author bio page. The same is true for SEMrush's blog, in Search Engine Journal, in TechCrunch, and many other authoritative sites. However, it is lacking on our blogs, as you can see. So we need to work on having an author authority description on every blog post, either at the top, side, or at the bottom of the page. Following that, clearly display the updated date on the page itself is important, because according to Ahrefs, fresh contents are often cited by AI platforms like ChatGPT and Perplexity, and their in-text references are in order from newest to oldest. If you aren't making your last updated dates visible on the page, you may be invisible to AI tools that matter most. Yes, you could have the correct date schema and metadata in your backend, but here's the reality. AI engines like ChatGPT and Perplexity aren't digging through your hidden codes during a live search. They are reading the actual text on your page just like a human does. A 2025 study by SearchView proved that 0 major AI chatbots could extract hidden schema data during direct retrieval. They rely on what's visible. And as you know, these tools are obsessed with citing fresh information. And if they can't see a clear date in your text, they may skip right over you and cite a competitor who is more transparent. You can have the best schema in the world, but if you hide the date from the user, you are hiding it from the AI, and that's the fast track to losing your citations. Alright, one final thing to audit, which is the source context. For example, on the same page, we have added this X quotes from Barry Schwartz. People in the SEO field knows who Barry Schwartz is. But for AI, because there is no context above or below the quote, it has to take a guess, because there is another authoritative figure named Barry Schwartz as well, who is a psychologist. So when you add a quote like this, you have to give context to the AI, telling the AI that this Barry Schwartz is the founder of Search Engine Roundtable and the news editor of Search Engine Land, together with giving context to who provided the insights. Alright, now that we have all the audit points, let me show you how you can quickly audit any pages of your site for AI visibility. Now, I'm going to give you a very detailed ChatGPT prompt to audit any pages of your site for AI visibility based on what we have discussed. You can find the prompt template in the video description down below. Alright, this is the prompt we are talking about. And this is where you will place the link to the page you want to audit. Let's highlight this prompt and copy it. And go to ChatGPT and paste the prompt. Let's say that we want to audit this page on our site for AI visibility. Let's copy the URL, go back to ChatGPT, and replace this placeholder with the URL, and hit enter or return. In just a while, you will get a list of optimizations based on the checks that we have mentioned. What do you think? Try it out yourself and let me know if it works for you. Of course, ChatGPT may make mistakes, so you have to verify the output, but it is great at highlighting the parts that you should be optimizing. So I hope with this knowledge and tool, you'll be able to optimize your blog page for AI visibility. There is no guarantees, but at least you do not create friction for AI to pass your content. Now, my question to you is, are there any other audit checks that should have been mentioned in this video? Let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to smash that thumbs up. Our channel is all about helping you grow your brand authority and traffic, and if you haven't subscribed to us yet, consider doing so. This is Jack from Rank Math. I'll see you in the next video.